Alright, welcome to my Chapter 5 Season 3 Secret Battle Pass Skin Gameplay and Review. So I know we don't really refer to these as secret skins anymore, but back in the day they were hidden and we wouldn't know who they were. But obviously everyone knows it's Magneto. So he has 2 pages full of challenges that you can unlock all his rewards. I did guides on both of these if you need help, but I'm going to be reviewing all these items in this video. So let's take a look at the skin itself first. So it's cool that they give him a Wastelander style because obviously it fits the whole theme of this season. So I do enjoy the Mad Max vibes that he does give off, but the cape on this one is just too bulky in my opinion. It covers up most of what you, the player, sees. So that's my only drawback with this one. But obviously you can take the cape off if you want. And you could also take the helmet off if you want. So I think it looks much cooler with the helmet on, but just in case you don't like that, you could take it off. Now he also comes with the faceplate on style, which only works obviously if you have the helmet on. This one is absolutely terrifying with that faceplate. But again, from your perspective, nothing changes at all. So this is number 1. All you can see is the back of the armor. And number 2, same thing. So obviously that's just for your enemies. And then lastly, we've got the Magneto style. So this one is not as rustic as these other ones. You can see he's got that almost maroonish red, but this one's more of a chromey red. It's kind of hard to explain. And then you can take the helmet off of this one as well. So not too shabby. Now oddly enough, for the back bling, they made it a separate one. I thought for sure it would be an edit style, but no, it's a separate entity of its own. So the description of the Wastelander one says they literally reversed this cape right here. And it sort of makes sense because on the inside of this, you can see it's that purple color. Now the pickaxe is called the Magnetized Scrap, and this one has a really sweet deploy and a nice animation as well. And then we've got the glider, that magnetic step. So I've got to talk about this because they absolutely nailed it with this. If you watched my challenge guide, I called this a lazy reskin of a glider. And that's because I didn't actually use it in game yet. But I have since used it in a game, and it is the best stair glider in the game. So besides this, there are 2 other stair gliders in the game. There's the Commander's Descent for the Ageless, and then there's the Queen's Procession, which nobody else can even use other than the Cube Queen. So the drawback to the Commander's Descent, as well as the Queen's Procession, is that when you glide, the character does this awful jog, and it looks horrendous. I remember commenting how bad it was when you move forward. When you don't move forward, you get this awesome stair-stepping glider like this. But how often are you stationary in the sky on your glider? You're always moving, so it always looks a bit weird because you're doing this silly jog instead of walking awesomely. However, they fixed all that in the magnetic steps. Not only do you walk incredible when you're stationary, but when you glide as well, he doesn't do the jog. And it has these awesome sound effects, awesome animation. This is how you do a stair glider in Fortnite. I can't wait to show this to you guys in game. It's incredible. And then we've got the wrap, which is reactive. So let's go take a look in game and I'll show you everything. All right, here we go. The magnetic steps. Are you ready for this? If you haven't experienced it yet, it's absolutely incredible. Here we go. So as you can see, the pieces just keep on flowing forward and then kind of disintegrate off the back. But the sound that plays when you first deploy that is terrifying. One more time, listen to this. I'm going to turn it up. It's almost like a horrific horn. It's just crazy. And then when you go forward, it also plays music. Listen to this. So you can see he's doing a light walk here, and watch what happens when you go forward. No more silly jog. You've got this hands extended, and it's almost like a speed walk, but it just looks magnificent. So the pieces come flying in faster, and they go farther out as well when you do this. You can see there's like a white contrail as well. That is incredible. Okay, so next up is the pickaxe. Like I said, incredible deploy on this as well. Check this out. It just forms around his hand. Now, if you've watched some of my previous reviews, I absolutely hate pickaxes that basically cover up your entire hand. And unfortunately, that's what this one does, but the deploy makes up for that. I mean, that is incredible. Pieces of metal just come flying in and form all around his hand, and then we get the pickaxe. And you can see they kind of hover around as well. So the contrail is pretty much non-existent, but there are pieces of the metal that break off every time you swing, so that's kind of cool. Let's see what the splash looks like. Okay, so same thing, you got the effect where pieces of metal break off. Now, I will be honest, when I was playing builds, it did kind of throw me off because it takes a few seconds to form. You can see I'm pushing swing right away and it still has to form a little bit around your hand. I feel like that's a bit of a detriment. And sometimes it would throw me off in builds. When I was trying to build, it would take a while to get my pickaxe back out because of that animation. So it could just all be in my head, but I feel like that threw me off quite a bit. I love this pickaxe despite it being one that completely wraps around your hand. So you can see with this Wastelander style, like I said, in the locker, it basically covers your entire character. You can just see the top of his head, and that is it. Let's see what his aim down sights looks like. So it's pretty clean. This one does have a huge shoulder guard on the right side, so that does take up a little bit of your vision. But the whole top left of the screen is wide open, so that's always a plus. Let's take a look at the wrap. You can see it's got a nice purple animation that flows towards you. And then when you full auto, basically the whole gun turns that purple pink. Just a smooth and clean reactivity there. So again, I like what they did with this character. They didn't have to give us this one. They could have just done the comic book Magneto. But no, they decided to make a Wastelander version to fit the theme of the season. Pretty sweet. Here's his emote, Disassemble. So he takes an AR, and then he breaks it in half, and he chucks it to the ground. Really clean. Now he also has one of the better GG emoticons in the game. It's a purple hand, and then it crushes the GG, so that's really clean. If you like giving compliments to players, this is definitely one you're going to want to equip. Nicely animated as well. Perfect. All right, let's take a look in the dark. I don't think anything glows on this character. No, nothing at all, except, of course, the wrap. When you shoot it, check that out. That looks really cool. So you can really see the effect in the dark, and watch how long it lingers before it goes away. So I'm going to stop shooting. It takes a while to fizzle away, which is pretty cool. Most of these wraps go away instantly, but that one lingers for quite a bit. That's awesome. Okay, so here he is without the helmet. I think this one doesn't look that bad, but most people that rock this skin will probably want the helmet on. However, when you aim down sights, it's a little smoother. But again, I personally prefer the helmet because it rounds out the color scheme as well with that nice rustic red. And this one just shows his gray hair, so I don't know. I'm sure some people would enjoy this one, but for me, the helmet is better. So now here's the face-plated version. Like I said, in the locker, from your perspective, everything looks exactly the same. When you aim down sights, though, you see a little bit of the faceplate, not much at all, just a little teeny tiny bit. But obviously, if you do any emote that turns your character around, you're going to see that awesome, menacing steel plate in there, which is just terrifying, and I love it. That completely rounds out this character, and that is my favorite style, at least for the Wastelander. So here he is with no cape, and you can actually see some of his gray hair when you take that away. So aim down sights is a little better without the cape, but that shoulder guard is still there. And you can see a lot more of the purple. He's got that purplish ring around his suit that's mostly covered when you have the cape on. So I can see some people really enjoying this one, but now that I see it without the cape, as much as I hate capes, I think he did look a little better with it on. I think it just completes the character a little more, but the wrap definitely matches way better when you can see more of that purple. Especially when you're just running around, the purples match quite nicely there. That is perfect. All right, next is the comic book version of Mr. Magneto. Cape seems to have way different physics on this one. I don't know if the other one just wasn't working right, but this one flows all over the place when you run. I might have to double check that because I don't remember it being this fluid on the Wastelander version. But obviously when you jump, it goes up. And even when you sprint, it kind of furls up like that. Pretty clean. I think I actually like the Wastelander red better than this one. This is going to be tough to match in terms of that color if you change anything on the character. And you can see the wrap is more suited for the Wastelander. Again, the reds are completely different. That's the rustic red on the wrap. Comic book version is more of a pinkish red. When the weapon is fully reactive, it does look pretty sweet. I imagine this one's going to glow in the dark. Let's take a look in the front first. It's pretty clean all around. Let's take a look in the dark real quick. Wow, no, he doesn't glow at all. I thought for sure that cape would glow. Okay. That's not bad either then. So let's take the cape and the helmet off of this one, see what he looks like. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one. Without the cape and without the helmet on this character, he's got those superhero tights on. I think the Wastelander definitely looked better without the cape. I can't see myself ever running this style without the cape and without the helmet. I'll have to see if I ever run into anyone with this particular combo. I think most people prefer the cape, for sure. Okay, and lastly, here is the wrap skin featuring Magneto's wrap. So this looks pretty clean. You've got a nice mixture of the purple and red. And of course, every time you pickaxe, it's going to react. That looks really cool. And then when you shoot too, you're going to see the full effect on the skin. How about when you aim in and shoot? That's awesome. Very clean. I love these wrap skins. Let's check it out in the dark real quick. Yeah, that is amazing. Nice purple, white, and pink. Beautiful. So there you go. That is the full Magneto Chapter 5 Season 3 bundle, and it's absolutely incredible. I'll be honest, when I first saw the secret skin this season, I thought, nah, I'm not really going to like that. I do like X-Men, but really Magneto? And they just absolutely mesmerized me with all the accessories and the styles. This is one of the better secret skins we've had in a long time. I know it's a collab skin, but they did everything perfectly. I think the accessories really make this skin and the entire combo shine. From the unique deploy animation of the pickaxe to the insanely amazing glider, and the wrap is excellent as well. Like I said, the accessories really bring out the true potential of this entire combo. So it may not have any reactivity, but I think it's incredible nonetheless. So there you go. Let me know in the comments, do you agree that this secret skin is incredible? Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like is always appreciated, and don't forget to use my Support-A-Creator code, which is tabortime.